If you guys watch and learn anything from just one video of mine before Lightfall releases, it should be this one. Running double special weapons is currently more useful than ever before, and it's getting even stronger. Going into Lightfall, I think more teams are going to be running double special setups than in previous raid races. So in this video, if you guys aren't already familiar, I'm going to be introducing you to double special builds, how they work, and some of the best specials to be pairing together, along with other bits of useful information to help making running two special weapons more viable. I did also want to add the disclaimer that even though Bungie officially announced that they did fix heavy ammo drop rates when running two specials, they didn't. It might have been slightly nerfed, but double special does indeed still drop hella purple bricks, and I am also aware that running double specials is nothing new. Just figured I'd make this video to give people a reminder in Lightfall, especially considering the reworks to both special finisher and armor mods that will likely increase the ammo economy for double special setups. I will also have chapters added down below if you guys want to skip around to different parts of the video that cover different sections. And as always, if you enjoy the video, make sure to drop a like and sub down below. We're right on the way to 55,000 subs. So with that said, let's first start off with some double special weapon basics. As the name suggests, double special just means that you are running two special weapons at the same time. If you guys are completely new to double special builds, you're probably wondering exactly how this works if you don't have a primary weapon, and the answer is you don't really ever need one. In almost every single case, a special weapon can replace your primary weapon and do a better job than that primary. The only major downside to running two specials can be ammo economy, which is super easy to fix with a few different methods which can all be stacked. And I'll be going over all of these methods later in the video. Running two special weapons, as I briefly mentioned, also has a much higher chance to drop heavy ammo bricks on kill, so this will also drastically improve your heavy ammo economy without needing Aeon or Lucent finishers in many situations, as long as there are enough adds to kill. The only major time I see primary weapons needed are for stunning champions. You can always bypass needing primaries with certain artifact mods, and next season we do get even more ways to stun champs, so this is even less of a reason to ever need a primary again. On top of that, in situations where you need a primary-like weapon to interact with in-game mechanics like operator panels or obelisks in Vow of the Disciple, trace rifles are perfect. They are better than every primary in the game, with the exception to their range limitations. I used to also be under the impression that when swapping to and from trace rifles to any other special weapon that you would lose less ammo. Testing this out myself, it didn't really seem to be the case. Swapping seemed to consistently reduce ammo by 5 to 10% no matter what weapon I used and swapped to, but if there is proof that this is a thing, let me know in the comments below and I'll pin it. Moving along, before we get into more details about double special builds, I wanted to go over some of the best specials currently in the game. I won't be able to mention everything, but these are going to be a few of my personal favorites, which tend to be really good for a lot of end game activities. Starting in the kinetic slot, Egger's Scepter is completely broken. It's great for ad clear and crowd control, as one kill will flash freeze an entire group. Once again, it's a trace rifle, making it good for various reasons, and you can convert a trash tier super into an 80% buff for the weapon. Riptide with Chill Clip absolutely braps. I use this thing when dealing with tankier enemies, as it's more versatile than a shotgun. Heritage is one of the best slug shotties. I like this purely because of reconstruction, and the same exact thing goes for Succession, which is also one of my favorite snipers to run. Witherhoard, Arbalest, and Izanagi's Burden are also all amazing, and I don't think they need any explanation as to why they're good in double special builds. I'm sure there are some more that I might have skipped in that slot, but moving on to energy weapons, all the trace rifles are great. I tend to use Retraced Path for solar builds, Hollow Denial for void builds, and then Path of Least Resistance whenever I think Volt Shot is preferable. Forbearance is the GOAT of waveframe grenade launchers, but Explosive Personality is great on solar builds when using Ember of Empyrean, and I think Deafening Whisper is great when going against void shields. Fusion-wise, Cartesian Coordinate and Null Composure are my go-tos, just because they are rapid-fire frames, and then I also use First In, Last Out for a lot of obvious reasons. Once again, definitely a lot of weapons you could also use here, but these are a few of my personal favorites, which tend to work in most areas of the game. Now that you guys know some of the best options to run, how should you be running them? AKA, how can you maintain ammo for each weapon most effectively? Starting with the weapons themselves, a few of the options I listed have the perk Lead from Gold. In certain cases, you can also run two weapons with Lead from Gold, making it even better. This ends up providing special ammo to weapons with the perk whenever you grab a heavy brick. Once again, whenever running double special, something in the game makes enemies drop more heavy bricks. I'm not entirely sure what this is, but it can be substantial. In my personal experience, these heavy ammo drops seem to come and go in waves, so whenever heavy starts dropping, sometimes multiple kills back to back will drop this ammo, which is to say sometimes you don't get a ton of heavy ammo drops, and other times it pours heavy. Either way, with an above average amount of heavy ammo to grab, this combined with lead from gold makes double specials have even more synergy. After this, running finders and scavs is a pretty easy go-to. I tend to prioritize this over mods for builds because realistically, making sure you have special ammo for ad clear is more effective than most builds in endgame PvE. That being said, I tend to prioritize ammo drops for weapons that I use more often. Finders work off an invisible counter, which you can see on screen now. If I were to say run Witherhoard and Retraced Path, I would tend to put on Trace Rifle Scavenger. Witherhoard has better ammo economy as is, and I spam the Trace Rifle more often, so having an abundance of ammo for that is going to be preferable. Lastly, just doing special finishers and Aeon finishers also generate special ammo. I personally don't think Aeons are really worth it for just special. Usually there's going to be better exotics to run, and you can just burn through super energy for special finishers. Next season, these finishers also won't even cost super energy, which is another reason I see double special as being even more useful. We don't know as of right now how many armor charges this is going to take, but I would assume somewhere around 2 to 4 charges. Just as a final recap, with double specials, you get drastically increased heavy drops, making this great for boss encounters. Your ad clear is just unarguably better in endgame content. The ammo economy is fine as long as you realistically have finders and scavs, someone doing finishers, or just lead from gold, all of which can be stacked to give a stupid amount of special ammo. Then in the case of trace rifles, these basically play just like primaries, and then can be used to interact in raids with things like DSC panels or obelisks in Val. If there are any other major benefits to double special that I am leaving out of the video, feel free to comment that below, and since I obviously wasn't able to cover every weapon that is good for double special builds, let me know anything I missed that you personally like running, as it might help others make new builds in the comments. I do also stream a bunch over on my Twitch where we do lowmans and speedruns live, and I also will be streaming the day 1 raid race. A link to that and my Discord server are both in the description below. Anyways, that's all for this video. As always, have a good one, guys. Peace.